What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1. Today we're going to be talking about a very sensitive subject, if you can't tell by the title of this video, alright? Someone sent me a link to a video on YouTube. It's absolutely insane, man. Let me find out the person's name really quick. The name is Nicola Prongo. Hopefully I said that right. They left a link in the comment section of one of my videos, and this is about a serial killer named Richard Speck. Okay, he went in as a man and was transformed into a woman in the Illinois State Penitentiary. Crazy story. I'm gonna talk about that, give you a quick rundown on that video, and I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section pinned for you to watch it yourself. It's a little old, but at the same time, it's absolutely insane. And stuff like this does happen. Now, it might not have happened in a prison that you might have been in, okay? Like California, a lot of those cats out there say that, they got, homosexuals get their own block. And homosexual activities, they don't stand for it. It's green light on sight if you're doing that type of stuff. Well, you know what? In my state, this crap happened. I've seen it with my freaking eyes numerous times. And I told a story about it. One of my most watched videos on this channel is called Being Turned Out in the State Penitentiary, okay? About a little guy named Bobby, all right? That's not his real name, but I didn't want to put his business out there. It was a true story. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go check it out. But anyways, I'm also going to be reading this email that I got from someone. He said, I want to tell my story in person on camera for you to record, because I let a lot of my viewers know, hey, if you got a crazy jail story, prison story, street story, let me know on Instagram. Hit me in the direct message, and we'll figure out a way to get your story told. And I figured it out. It's going to be on Skype, okay? It's going to be on Skype. If you don't have it, download it. It's free. That's how I'm going to be recording these stories, and that's another segment that's going to be coming y'all's way here in the near future, maybe later on this week or next week. I got some good people that got some crazy stories to tell, but this guy's story is absolutely insane. And, I get emails all the time about crazy things, and sometimes I can tell they're completely bogus, that crap didn't happen, and other times I can tell they are 100% authentic. And that's what I'm going to be telling y'all a story about first, before we get into that video that I was talking about earlier. Alright, so check it out. It's a long email, but I'm going to read it word for word, and I promise you, it's a crazy one. Alright? He says, I was watching the video about being turned out in prison. I noticed that a lot of people in the comment section was making the story seem like a joke, when in fact, these things do happen, and I was one of the thousands of victims. I apologize about these jets. I got fighter jets flying above my house. I live right next to a base. But anyways, I'm going to try to work through it. Now back to this guy's email, okay? He says, the story that I'm going to tell is very similar to the one you told. I was a straight man, 54 years old, in prison for a white-collar crime. I was sentenced to 8 years in prison in a level 3 prison. They ended up putting me in a cell with a cool guy that I got along with well. Then after a couple of months, a man started to become kind of a stalker towards me and speak to me in a flirtatious kind of way. I told him respectfully that I do not play that way, and he was much younger than me. I thought he was just joking, but it turns out he was not, and one day I was told to pack my stuff and move to a different cell within the same cell block. And sure enough, it was his cell, the young man. I told the correctional officer everything that has been happening, and he laughed, but he did say that he would tell his superior, but until then to go into the cell. Well, I did, thinking that the young guy was not serious and was just picking on me, and that was the worst mistake of my life. After going into the cell and putting my stuff up, he pushed me against the wall with a blade 2 inches from my face, and he said, you are mine now, whether you like it or not. I made the guards move you in here. The guards will not help you. He kept telling me that if I ever talked to the guards again, he would kill me on the spot, and I knew he was not lying. I was being sexually assaulted for 11 months by this man, but seemed like an eternity. After a few weeks, I tried sending a request form when he was not looking to report what is going on, and I never got a reply back. I was not allowed to use the phone. He followed me everywhere and also made me give him my mail that I received. One letter came and my family was so worried that I have not called them that he made me call and tell them everything was okay and that I just needed some alone time while he was standing above me listening to the call. This all ended when he started letting his friend have me as well, and after a few months he became jealous because he stopped letting him sleep with me. So they ended up stabbing each other in front of me in the cell, and they both went to medical for stab wounds. And that's when the captain and major pulled me out, and I was finally able to tell my story. These men were charged for rape, and the 3 guards were fired from what they told me. Now I am out. I have never told this story to anyone except the prison staff and a judge. I have not even told my family. I went through the court proceedings without any family knowing. Before my release, which was years later, I ended up going to be tested for HIV and sexually transmitted diseases for 7 months. Thankfully, I was clean. And now I am out. I have a new wife that knows nothing of this, as well as children from a previous marriage. I'm telling you so that you can tell my story and bring awareness to what really does happen in prison. You never think that something like this is possible, but it happens all the time. Once again, thank you for bringing awareness to prison topics that people think is simply a joke. You have a loyal subscriber forever. That's crazy, man. That's probably one of the craziest stories I got in my email thus far, you know. I don't even know what to say to that. Stuff like that does happen, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It might not happen in the prison that you went to, like I said, but this stuff really does happen. There are people that might not be like you, super gangster and hard, get a weapon and kill someone if they try something like that, or me, or some, there are weak individuals. There are weak individuals that are scared of losing their life and aren't really built like that to, defend themselves. So what do? They do what this man did. He went along with the program, even though it took months and months for it to end. He still went along with the program and did as he was told by these inmates. And that brings me to this video that I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section for y'all pinned. Crazy video, okay? This guy, he was a serial killer, and he was in solitary confinement for the beginning of his bid. Like most serial killers, they get locked up in 23-1, pretty much protective custody. But during his stay in this protective custody, he became a painter, okay? He asked the guard to let him have some paint so he can paint the cell walls. And they did. They gave him some paints, and his paintings were really good. So they allowed this man to become the institution, the prison painter. He painted all the walls in the prison. And the supervisor that was running this whole thing, he ended up retiring, and a new supervisor came into play, and he put this man into general population. He got a cellmate, and the cellmate, long story short, ended up giving him shots so that he could grow breasts, made him wear blue panties. And that brings me to another story about Bobby from the Being Turned Out video. I forgot to tell this, okay? He turned his white boxers, little Bobby, turned his freaking white boxers into thongs, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, for real. He used to play volleyball with this freaking thong sticking straight up out his butt. It's absolutely insane. But this freaking crap happens, man. And this wasn't back in the day. This was not too long ago when I was in prison seeing this crap. But seeing this video made me think of old Bobby. You know what I mean? In the video, this guy literally makes him undress in front of the camera, show the camera his male breast growing from all the shots that he's getting. I don't know what the shots are called. He derobes and shows the camera guy the blue panties that he's forced to wear. It's insane, man. It's insane. A lot of people in the YouTube realm like to think of stuff like this as a joke. Like I was about to do a reaction video the other day on the whole booty bandit and cell. And, I realized, I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because there's people like the guy that sent me this freaking email that have really went through this stuff. And who would I be to sit there and do a reaction video and laugh about the topic when really people are going through hell on earth in prison right now while you're watching this video right now? They are being controlled by another man, being sexually assaulted every day. It's sad, it really is, you know, and I can't really do much about it besides bring awareness to thousands of people that watch my content, you know. A lot of people say, man, that stuff does not happen no more. You know, there's too many openly gay individuals in prison. Well, guess what? These openly gay individuals, you think that they're just roaming the block and giving sexual favors to people? No, they usually got husbands. They got husbands and they're on lockdown, you know. So when all these homosexuals are taken, okay, when all the gay guys are taken, what's the next man gonna do? He's gonna go after someone that's not taken, which is probably a straight man like this dude that sent me the email, you know. And some guys, believe it or not, they don't want someone. They want a straight man. They want to transform a straight man into their sex toy, you know. These are facts. And if stuff like this doesn't keep you from going to prison, I don't know what will. You know, you better change your ways. You might think that you know, you're a gangster and hard out in the streets, but when you get in the penitentiary, man, a lot of that stuff goes right out the window. You know, when a person, like this guy said, puts a shank 2 inches from your freaking eyeball, okay, what are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? It's scary, man. It really is. And you know what else is scary about this story? He was moved into the email. The guy that sent me an email, he said that he was moved into a cell. And the guy said that the correctional officer, he made him move him in there. You know what I mean? And this crap happens. This crap happens for real. People might say, how can he get a correctional officer to move him in there? Look, most of the drugs that come into prison are from correctional officers. A lot of correctional officers are freaking gang members. I used to stay night in my homeboy's cell, swap bunks with someone and stay the night in my homeboy's cell just so I could party all night. And guess what? The correctional officers didn't care. They didn't even notice. You know what I mean? I'm in the wrong cell for 2 days sometimes, just chilling, smoking weed, and they don't know anything or care to know anything of what's going on. But not all prisons are like that. There are some prisons where they're on, you know, the security is on a different level. The guards are really guards, you know, and they really care for your safety. But there's also a lot of prisons that don't. You know, a lot of people think that people go to prison, they're safe, they had a nice trip. Yes, some people do have a nice trip, okay? Some people really do. Thank God I did. You know, thank God I had a pretty easygoing trip. But at the same time, I had some very dangerous situations come my way, and I've told stories about them. But just let this be a rude awakening for maybe the weaker individuals that are trying to play that gangster role in the streets. When you step foot in the penitentiary, man, all that crap goes out the window. There's going to be a big dude waiting for you. You never know. You never know, man, and you could be the one being pushed up against a wall with a shank 2 inches from your face. What are you gonna do? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be on the lookout for all that fresh content. I got people that want to tell me stories, and if you want to tell me your story, get Skype and let me know in my Instagram. Hit me in the direct message, tell me your story. If I haven't replied back, trust me, I've read it and I will. Okay, I'm just getting ready to get everything going, and I can't wait to hear y'all's wild and crazy stories. And I'm sure a lot of my audience members can't wait either. But anyways, until the next time, do not forget to check out all the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Go buy yourself some merchandise off of Teespring. Go check out my Patreon. Go check out my wife's channel, The Compound 24/7, with all the behind the scenes of what goes on around my house, my family, my kids. And as always, I want to thank and salute to every last one of you who've been supporting me since the beginning, and everyone who is just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy and be safe out there.